Yes, a beautiful morning to you, a wonderful listener. You're welcome to Newspaper Review on your number one gospel radio in Nigeria, Lagoon Radio, powered by the Anglican Diocese of Lagos. Yes, my name is Olumakaiye, and today, being the 23rd in the month of June, 2022, I welcome you once again to Newspaper Review. We have a lot of newspaper here today, and of course, I'm not going to be doing this alone. We are plenty. We are many in the studio today. I don't want to say the least. So I have Chimeze in the studio with me. Just Chimeze. Chimeze, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning. And well, it's a new week, everyone. For us, it's a new week.
Yeah.
This is when we begin our week here.
Yes, that's so. This is where we begin our week, Thursday to Saturday. So I have the Nigerian Tribune here on the front page. Defections, panic in APC. Adamu pacifies senators. You get a story on page 2. I read it on the Punch newspaper today too, that a lot of APC are defecting to other parties. You get a story on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. And Peter Obi, Wike meets in Rivers. Peter Obi, Wike meets in Rivers. You get a story on page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune. And NUT rejects Kaduna government sack of 2,357 teachers. Threatens nationwide strike. You get a story on page 2 as well. So over 20 Chibok girls still in Zambiza forest and rescued victims. You get a story on page 30. I read in the news, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, that one or two has been set free. Yes, one of the Chibok girls, two of the Chibok girls has been set free. And now on the Nigerian Tribune saying over 20 Chibok girls still in Zambiza forest. We are disposed to extension of CVR INEC. You get a story on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. And over 60 million involved in child labor in Nigeria. Even in this Lagos, you get a story on page 8. I don't think over 60 million. 60 million not be being so. Well, come to Lagos, you see a lot of child labor in display. So recent attack on churches meant to cause religious stress, says Buhari. That's what Buhari has to say about this, and you get a story on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. And on page 2 also, 24 states got 477 billion naira refund for expenses on project, says the federal government. You get a story on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. And headless body of abducted Anambra lawmaker found. The story is on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, and the continuation on page 28. Yes, and on the Victoria News, here is the president of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, and the chairman of the Progressive Congress, APC, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, and the National Secretary, Senator Iyola Omishore, to the National Assembly during the leadership retreat in Abuja. So the pictorial is on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Grab a copy of Nigerian Tribune newspaper and read it through.
Yes, I have with me the Punch newspaper, and on the lead story, yes, 20 senators set to dump APC, party's majority under threat. Angry lawmakers protest loss of tickets. 13 senators dish ruling party. Adamu summons emergency meeting, says no party leader won't be worried. It's a welcome development. We expect more to join us. PDP declares.
The smart.
That is it. Jumping ship. They are rotating themselves between APC and PDP. And the country is going down.
This is their time.
Well, it's their time. Transfer season. And then continue. Well, on the pictorial story, we saw a returnees from Libya. And the story reads, 23 children, 143 other stranded Nigerians return from Libya, page 13 of the Punch. And we keep on saying it. If you don't have anything doing abroad, no need traveling. In fact, last week a friend of mine was chatting me. He's in Senegal. That I should send him money to come back. That he needs money to book for tickets. That he's appealing to people.
What did you go there to do before?
I don't want to ask him that question. Okay. You leaving Nigeria to Senegal. What, you don't have a family member there. You don't have a relative. You don't have something that. Well, before you, everybody seeks a better life, but before you move, make sure there is something concrete, something you're going to do. You don't just move and no place like home.
One of my friends was talking to me the day before yesterday, and he was talking about Nigerians being so eager to leave, like to travel out for greener pasture. And he was saying that you people should not be listening to all this motivational speaker that says, "Oh, I got to America, and within a year, I made so amount. I have my own car. I built my own house." He said it is not that easy. It's a
not that
big
easy.
lie. You have to hustle.
Very well. A lot of people do 3 jobs, 2-3 jobs.
If it's not the kind of job this my friend is doing, okay.
Please, before you move, make sure you have something concrete. And if you have something concrete here fetching you money, I don't think you should. Well, your choice. Okay. Still on the Punch newspaper, Senate moves to resolve Supreme Court crisis. NBA demands accountability. Yes, in the course of the week, some judges in the Supreme Court raised the alarm. In fact, they accused the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Chief Justice of the Federation. They accused him of corruption. So they say by 4:00 the generator in the Supreme Court will go off.
Okay.
So everybody has to go home. That he keeps on sponsoring his wives and family, his wife and children to abroad. But them, the Supreme Court justices, they cannot afford, they cannot travel. All those, what is it called? Benefits they had before is no longer there. Even the medical allowances that in the Supreme Court hospital, there is nothing like, he's just a
okay now.
SANU, NASU extend strike. FG hopeful on ASU. Page 16. Support for Obi like NSAS movement. Victor Ume. Page 7. Telecos shake off SIM NIN loses. Recover 16 million subscribers. Page 10 of the Punch newspaper. NAFDAC workers begin strike over allowances. Page 8. Okay. Wait, everyone is on strike. It's like we'll go on strike.
Yes, now everybody is on strike. Because come to think of it, these people are the one enjoying everything in Nigeria.
Should we go on strike?
Probably we should go on strike too. Probably we should go on strike. ASU has been on strike. ASU has been on strike since, and all these people, they are sharing money. Delegate, they are defecting from one party to the other.
But we don't have reason to go on strike here.
We don't have reason.
Yes, we are being paid.
Okay.
We are being paid monthly.
Just that we this month never enter.
No, it will. It must. It must. Okay. Brave Ondo man fights robber attempting to rape wife. Grabs gun. Superman. Page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. FG shares 56.8 billion to states for teachers training. Page 14 of the Punch newspaper. Flood sweeps away playing Ondo pupil. Police launch search. Page 5. Owo, Kaduna church attacks. Politically motivated. Presidency. Page 13. Lagos Ekiti men bag. Okay. Lagos Ekiti men bag life imprisonment for raping minors. That's page 4 and 5. Nan, LCCI, economists counter Buhari's claim on economy. Page 21. If you are wondering, President Buhari said that he has done well in economy since he took over, since 7 years. So we leave you Nigerians to judge. For more stories on that, grab a copy of the Punch newspaper.
Okay, let me quickly read through the Guardian newspaper, and on the front page we have the 2023 No Place for Place order. Falana, senior lawyers back INEC. And like presidential candidates, vice president nominees can only withdraw from race voluntarily. Suggestion that a VP candidate can be substituted at will is an erroneous. Position elective, not appointive. 2010 Electoral Act, where political parties could substitute candidate, repealed in 2022 amended Act. You see the story on the front page of the Guardian newspaper and the continuation on page 6. And INEC denies extending voter registration, insists on June 30 deadline. Okay, you get the story on page 2. Oloja, Mahole, Anyawu, others chart path to media sustainability. You get a story on page 4. Kumuyi advises politicians on choice of running mates. You got a story on page 28. And gunmen kidnap soldier's wife, 6 others in Chingun local government. You'll see the story on page 30. And proscription, IPOB product of injustice. Ohaneze replies Buhari. You get a story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Moment 6 review of single supply strategy of petrol. You get a story on page 16 of the Guardian newspaper. I don't understand the sudden scarcity of fuel.
Well, the IPMAN, Independent Petroleum Marketers, they said it's not visible to sell petrol at 160, 168. That even selling petrol at 186, there's been this rancor between the federal government and the IPMAN. And I know that they are pushing, maybe petrol prices will come at 200 per liter. That's what they are trying to push. It's not that there is scarcity. It's just, they are just creating artificial scarcity so that federal government, they can lobby federal government or force federal governments to say, we are selling now at 200 and then everybody will be happy. That's what they are pushing.
That means the marketers are the problem here.
No, the marketers themselves, they said it's not visible, that they are not gaining anything selling at the normal government price.
Okay.
So there had to be an increment for it to be balanced.
Okay.
So that's it. And the federal government is still dragging the issue. It's just a leadership problem. If you want to remove subsidy, remove and be clear. Let's know where we are going. Because, this government came on a lot of promises. Petrol was 86 naira when they came. But now we are if you buy it, if you see at 200, buy now. You thank your stars.
Okay, let's see what you have there.
Okay, this day newspaper. Adamu meets senators, says he's worried by girl of defections. Okay, senators list conditions to halt action. 2 more lawmakers await their parties. 22 other planning to defect soon. Olumakaiye raises the alarm. PDP may soon form majority in upper chamber. Aduda boast. INEC has powers to reject Lawan. Akpabio Falana declares. Yes, it's about the controversy trailing the Yobe North, Ahmed Lawan and the other candidate that stood for the primary election. And he's claiming that Ahmed Lawan never stood for the primary election, but the Yobe State has submitted Ahmed Lawan's name as a senator, as the candidate for the senatorial position. And don't forget, Ahmed Lawan has been in that chamber since 1999.
Okay.
He did 2 terms as House of Representative member And from 2007 till date, he has been in the Senate, which earned him the seat for a Senate president. I believe it is time for him to step down for a younger or another candidate to go. CBN restates commitment to meet legitimate forest demands. And yes, Buhari, we won't let anyone put Nigeria under unnecessary religious stress, says wicked people behind recent attacks on churches. Vows perpetrators will be brought to justice. President, we need action.
Since how many weeks?
That is it. Kaduna people, the people that were adopted in Kaduna train, they have spent 87 days now in captivity.
Imagine.
And they raised the alarm that snakes are biting them every night. Urges Nigerians to come together in prayer against coward attacks. Oh God, we have prayed enough. We need action.
Action.
Moman, federal government must deregulate downstream to address fuel supply challenges. Don't sell fuel above 165 per liter. Ipman, at the top, warn members, appoints consultants to recover debts. That's what we are talking about. The federal government is ordering them not to sell above 165. But they said, the chairman said if they sell at 186, it's not even fair to them. Nigeria's problem is distribution, not supply. Pengasson declares. You can read that on the front page of, and a continuation on page 10 of this day newspaper. So for more on that, grab a copy of this day newspaper.
Okay, let us go through the national economy. Rise in food prices contradicts Buhari's claim of improved economy. As NBS says, price of 2 kg prepackaged wheat flour jumped from 785 naira to 1,060 naira. A bottle of palm oil increased from 593 naira to 847 naira in 1 year. The story is on the front page of the national economy and the continuation on page 4. Despite $80 billion investment, 35 million Nigerians still lack access to telephoning services. Okay, now 35 million Nigerians still lack access to telephoning services. The story is on the front page and the continuation on page 4 of the national economy. And Senate to investigate Shell over alleged illegal oil lease renewals. You get the story on page 4. And domestic foreign transactions on NGX hit 1.5 trillion naira, page 5. And CBN Fort, misleading reports on payment of overseas tuition. We get a story on page 5. And Ohando resolves shareholder dispute, releases 2019-2020 result. You get a story on page 5. And just grab a copy of the national economy and read more about the economy of Nigeria. Do you have any other one there?
Yes. Okay, blueprints. Okay. Adamu storms NAS, begs aggrieved APC lawmakers. Assures NWC, that's National Working Committee, will address outcome of party primaries. Backs Lawan, wants Machima over Yobe North senatorial ticket. And that's what we are talking about. You expect some not to defect. He is backing Lawan that never stood for the primary election. And he's warning Machima to stay away from the ticket. The person that stood for the primary election. So, 22 APC senators threaten defection to PDP. Fanekayode. Sometimes that one is not taken serious.
Fanekayode, I don't understand him.
Social media, fake news, threat to 2023. DSS warns. Okay. Unveils campaign messages to engage voters. Yeah, US thumbs up INEC on Ekiti pool. All this you see on page 5 of the Punch newspaper. And on the pictorial story, we saw pupils of RSN Primary School, Kabak, sitting in their new desks donated to the school by Rotary Club of Jos Central. Okay. That's the thing. A lot. In fact, I am always moved to tears when I see some some core members donating to build something in this school, a federal government institution.
On top, how much?
On how much? God. Well, it's good. Military officers' wives, 6 others kidnapped in Kaduna. Ex-lawmaker beheaded in Anambra after ransom. Army intercepts explosives, ammunition in Cross River. Page 8 and 13 of the Blueprint newspaper. And on page 9, you will see I wasn't involved in fraud, tax evasion in US. Its smear campaign. ADC presidential candidate threatens 1 billion lawsuit against online platform others. And on page 5, you will read Oshibanjo leads NEC, ECOWAS on new strategy for human development in West Africa. Okay. Page 23, Eco Disco loses 4 billion naira to vandalism, cable theft in 6 months. And page 14, Buhari 6 Shehu's confirmation as Mbam's replacement. Page 22, you will see Fidelity Partners impact her to empower 1,052 female entrepreneurs. Page 23, Sun berates absence of regulators at seaports, destroys fake products. Page 23 also, domestic foreign transactions on NGX hits 1.506 trillion naira in 5 months. And still on, back to page 22, you will read about commercial drivers hike fares as fuel scarcity worsens in Lagos and Ogun.
That's their way.
I don't think I can travel out of Lagos this period now.
If you see anything that will carry you out to travel.
Not, I won't. Even going to Oshodi now will be a problem for me. Senate proves Shell over joint venture breach. Seeks $200 million refund to federal government. All this and more on the Blueprint newspaper.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us on today's newspaper review. This is where we'll be drawing the curtain of today's newspaper review. Just grab the copy, the copy of just grab the copy of your favorite copy, and read through the news. Yes, make sure you join us tomorrow 10:30. Yes, Friday is always special 10:30, and don't forget State of Nation will be coming up right now, 10 o'clock with Chimizi. Stay connected to Lagoon Radio and don't go anywhere.
This is